And thank you for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm F.B.I. Graham. Here are some of the headlines we're following for you right now in the CBN newsroom. Democrats on the House Intelligence Committee are prepared to clean up parts of their memo about the FBI's Russia investigation. They say the president is blocking the memo because of personal interest. But the White House alleges Democrats added sensitive information to the memo, knowing the president would stop its release. Right now, both sides are working to release the memo. A Russian airplane crashed near Moscow Sunday, killing all 71 people on board. It crashed shortly after takeoff. Investigators are looking for clues to find out what brought down the jet. The pilots did not report any problems. Kim Jong-un's sister headed home Sunday after spending 3 days in South Korea for the Winter Olympics, but not before meeting with South Korea's president. She delivered her brother's hopes for a summit between the North and the South. South Korea's president did not immediately respond to that offer. Remember, you can find out more about these stories by visiting cbnnews.com. It is a busy week in Washington. Lawmakers are turning their attention to two looming issues, and the president is at the center of it all. Amber Strong has the story.
With a budget deal wrapped up, it's on to the next one for Congress and President Trump. On the list, immigration. The president says he needs 3 things to make it work:
fully securing the border, ending chain migration, and canceling the visa lottery.
In exchange, the administration's proposal offers a pathway to citizenship for 1.8 million of the so-called dreamers, the illegal immigrants brought to the U.S. as children. But Trump says if his conditions aren't met, no deals. Meanwhile, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is keeping his end of the bargain.
I want to thank the Democratic leader.
And in a rare move, will begin an open-ended debate over immigration today.
I do think that we can get something done this week.
Senator Jeff Flake is one of a handful of lawmakers working on an immigration proposal. He's hopeful a Senate plan could come as early as this week and be good enough for the conservative House and the president.
By definition, if we can get something with support of 65 to 70 senators or maybe more, it's going to be a good, broad bill.
On the other side of Washington, the president will unveil his plan to tackle infrastructure.
As we rebuild our industries, it is also time to rebuild our crumbling infrastructure.
Trump promised to fix America's roads and highways, but at a price tag of $1.5 trillion. The plan calls for $200 billion in federal money over the next decade. According to an administration official, that funding will come from cuts to other programs. That leaves more than $1 trillion for the states and private sectors to cover on their own. That's a sticking point that has Democrats crying foul. On Monday, President Trump will meet with state and local officials, hoping to garner support for his new plan. Amber Strong, CBN News in Washington.
President Trump says Israelis and Palestinians will need to make hard compromises to reach a peace deal, and it would be foolish for them not to do so. In an interview with the right-wing Israel newspaper Hayom, published Sunday, the president said he didn't believe Palestinians are looking to make peace right now. But he also said he was not necessarily sure Israel is looking for peace either. So we are just going to have to see what happens. Relations between the U.S. and the Palestinians have been rocky since President Trump recognized Jerusalem as Israel's capital and pledged to move the U.S. embassy there. Israel's security cabinet is considering more options after the most significant conflict with Syria and Iran in years. As Chris Mitchell reports now from Jerusalem, the incident represented a dramatic escalation with Iran and Syria and sparked talks of war in the Middle East.
The incident began when Iran sent an unmanned aerial vehicle, or UAV, into Israeli airspace that an Israeli spokesman called a severe violation of Israeli sovereignty. Israel destroyed the drone and then countered with an airstrike on the command center that launched the UAV. During Israel's attack, Syria launched at least 20 anti-aircraft missiles and downed an F-16. It marked the first time in more than 30 years an Israeli plane was shot down by enemy fire. The pilot suffered serious wounds and was airlifted to a hospital. Israel then launched a second large-scale attack. It struck 12 targets inside Syria, including 4 Iranian installations. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu emphasized his warnings about Iran.
Iran seeks to use Syrian territory to attack Israel for its professed goal of destroying Israel. Our warnings were 100% correct. Israel holds Iran and its Syrian host responsible for today's aggression. We will continue to do whatever is necessary to protect our sovereignty and our security.
After the incident, the U.S. State Department said Iran's ambition to project its power and dominance places all of the people in the region at risk. And the U.S. Defense Department said Israel is our closest security partner in the region, and we fully support Israel's inherent right to defend itself. In Tehran, Iran downplayed its involvement, while hundreds of thousands of Iranians celebrated the 39th anniversary of the Iranian Revolution. They shouted "Death to Israel" and "Death to America" and displayed a number of ballistic missiles. One Israeli expert said Iran is determined to build Syria into an Iranian military base, while Israel is determined to stop it. Former IDF intelligence officer Marco Moreno told CBN News Iran is advancing its goal to dominate the region and threaten Israel.
Lebanon is they own Lebanon. Iraq, it's on its way. Syria, not yet, but it will happen. It's a strategic decision that the Iranians took to open a front with us in the Golan Heights. I think 2018 will be very important for us to deal with this problem.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
A blackout has hit Puerto Rico after an electric substation exploded and caught fire. The blast has set back the country's efforts to restore power following the devastating Category 4 Hurricane Maria that hit back in September, leaving 400,000 people without power for 5 months. The island's electric power authority said it is working as quickly as possible to repair additional outages caused by Sunday's fire. The cause of the fire is not known. Right now, there are no injuries reported in that fire. Dr. Pat Robertson is making his return to the 700 Club today, 10 days after sustaining an embolic stroke. The 87-year-old was admitted to the hospital after a family member recognized stroke symptoms February 2nd. He was administered the clot-busting drug TPA approximately 80 minutes after the onset of those symptoms, and within minutes he was awake and responsive. Doctors called it a TPA miracle. He returned home 2 days later, and after a short recovery, makes his return to the television show he founded back in 1966. The 700 Club airs live in many areas at 9 a.m. Coming up, border security. Now there's an app for that. See the high-tech tools on Border Patrol. Violent attacks against Border Patrol agents doubled from just a year ago. So Border Patrol is looking for high-tech solutions to help solve it. CBN's national security correspondent Eric Gonzalez is at the border with the U.S. and Mexico with the story.
We're just about a quarter of a mile away from the U.S.-Mexico border in the state of Texas, in the U.S. Border Patrol's Rio Grande Valley sector, a sector that's equipped with a complex network of both cameras and sensors, not only in the ground, but also on towers and in the back of trucks. Take, for instance, this mechanism, which is a remote video surveillance system.
These towers provide incredible situational awareness for the agents. They actually they have a really good view shed, so they scan a large area to give agents awareness of what's going on in that area, if there's any illegal activity, any suspicious vehicles that they may encounter in the area.
Years ago, an agent would sit below these movable towers to control the day and night vision cameras high above. Today, just a few agents command an entire fleet of cameras from a remote location miles away.
The operator of the camera will let them know, hey, the subject might be armed. You know, the subjects are carrying narcotics, so that you enter those situations a little more cautiously.
You just never know what you're going to come up against.
Agents never know who they're encountering in the brush. It might be the most, unsuspecting individual, and you go back to the station, you roll their fingerprints, and the record return might come back as a murderer.
The Rio Grande City station is the busiest station in the nation right now. It's known for narcotics seizures down here, so a lot of drugs flow through this AOR.
While the U.S.-Mexico border stretches almost 2,000 miles, less than 20% of it even has a fence. President Trump wants to build 800 miles of new fencing along the southwest border, but even he admits that won't help in some remote areas where technology is a better fit. For example, the U.S. Border Patrol uses these aerostats, small blimp-like devices with day and night vision cameras to cut the illegal drug flow. Tech isn't always better, however. Case in point, underground sensors. Trying to check out each triggered sensor over bad roads can take hours. And by the time Border Patrol arrives, the illegal immigrant is often long gone.
You guys can see it's not the easiest terrain to walk through, especially if you're walking through here at night.
That's why agents also use good old-fashioned horsepower to keep watch. And testing is currently underway on a fleet of personal drones, giving agents an eye in the sky where they're currently blind. It's happening over an 80-mile stretch of cactus, mesquite, and brush in the West Arizona desert where there's no fence at all. A drone closes the gap by confirming whether a sensor was hit by a person or an animal. It also indicates how many illegal immigrants are in a group and whether they're armed.
I'm gonna do a boat infill on the Bath. We're gonna come over here around, skirt around this area, get into right near the marina, and we're gonna infill right near this gate.
Digital technology in the form of an app also helps the department shrink the playing field.
It allows our agents to both receive and give real-time information that can be video, that can be still pictures, that can be instant messaging and chat.
Every phone carries an electronic signature identifying each agent with a color or icon. Top brass say Border Patrol has made strides, but more can be done.
I can tell you that, yes, we have throughout the southwest border detained people that are of national interest. And of course, we run them through the gamut. What we need to do and keep doing is really pushing our borders outward from a technology base as far as identifying people way before they get to our immediate borders.
With Mexico just on the other side of the Rio Grande River here, agents say technology is important, but they also say nothing beats boots on the ground to protect our borders and keep us safe. Reporting along the U.S.-Mexico border, Eric Rosales, CBN News.
Still ahead, moving the gospel. See how this man is using a bike to spread the good news. Alarming numbers about Generation Z, that is young people born between 1999 and 2015, coming up after millennials. Data from the Barna Group shows 35% of them are either atheist, agnostic, or unaffiliated with a faith. Those identifying as atheists are double the number of the general population. Now, pastors are brainstorming how to reach them. This concern, short Bible studies, and too many games in youth groups across America has led to a generation of young people who aren't equipped to help lead their friends to Christ. Cities and historical towns in China have always been a popular destination for Chinese travelers, especially during the holidays. Some travel with families and friends. Others, though, choose to tour alone. Recently, one Chinese Christian tourist made a 2-week trip around the nation. Besides sightseeing, he also brought a special message to the locals. Meng Fai Li has more.
As they celebrate the Chinese New Year, people in China expect a year of blessings. It's the year of the dog. According to their belief, dogs bring them good luck.
It's amazing to celebrate the new year in the land of snow and ice. Although it's so cold here, but it's hot in our hearts. I'm very happy to celebrate it with so many friends. I'm proud of being Chinese.
Meng Jinhui is very excited about seeing his family and friends this week. Recently, he traveled to 10 cities in China on his motorcycle. Besides discovering the hidden beauty, he was also on a mission from God.
I was reading the Bible and praying one day, and I felt the Lord was telling me to leave my comfort zone, get on a motorbike, and travel to other cities in China to share the gospel. It's the new year, and people need to hear the message of real hope.
He tied down a few personal belongings and hit the road. Starting from Beijing, as Scott prepared for his journey, Jinhui was in cities called Hebei, Chongqing, Kunming, Xi'an, Shanxi, Yunnan, and many small villages. He was able to visit 10 cities within 2 weeks. The only transportation was his motorcycle. He believed he was guided by God.
Before the trip, I have heard many missionaries travel to various resorts in China for doing God's work. I could never imagine doing that myself. Along the journey, I sang worship songs with the locals, told them stories. People just came up to me and hugged me. They were fascinated about Jesus and biblical stories.
Touched by Jinghui's passion and love, local residents joined in musically to show appreciation to their unique friend. After returning to Beijing, people were eager to hear his stories and experiences. He shared how God used his talents during the 2-week journey.
As I performed from one place to another, I always prayed first. I asked God the question, Jesus, what do you want me to tell them? Guess what? God always gave me the answers as soon as I started to sing. I'm not the star. I'm just a tool for Him to be known and glorified.
Chasing after sensation, Chinese millennials love to ride the motorcycles. Meng Jinghui is the first Chinese Christian motorcyclist to travel throughout the nation spreading the good news. And this year, he's planning to travel to more cities in China.
This won't be the last trip for me. I have more ideas in my mind. I will just keep on praying and waiting for the Lord to give me the names of the next 10 or maybe 20 places. China is pretty big, right?
Meng Fei Li, CBN News.
Fulfilling the Great Commission via motorbike. Stay with us. We're coming right back. Whether through the written word or everyday life, there are many ways to spread the gospel. Now, a new attraction in Washington, D.C. is sharing the message of God's love through song and so much more. Here's Amber Strong.
Throughout the course of the Bible, whether it was a time of joy or sorrow, pain or imprisonment, one thing remained constant: music. Now, Washington, D.C.'s Museum of the Bible is hoping to bring the Word to the stage, from start to finish, using song. Concert of the Ages, The Great Adventure, features an eclectic mix from contemporary Christian music to spirituals and more. As the music plays, scriptures and pictures fill the screen above the stage to bring together the trifecta of art. Stan Moser, the show's executive producer, says that design was part of a bigger mission.
We wanted to pick songs and visuals because it's equally visual arts as it is music. But we wanted to pick songs that deliver this message. The Bible invites us to know God, believe Him, and receive His promises for our lives.
In order to bring that vision to life, they needed just the right ensemble.
We put together 8 fabulous singers. They came from places like Belmont University, Liberty University, University of Mobile.
Nick Hardiman is part of that ensemble known as Univoice. He says a great deal of hard work and rehearsals have gone into the project, but it's worth it when they meet their goal of bringing people closer to God and encouraging them to seek Him.
As we present this musically, we desire that someone would walk away, kind of like getting a rock in your shoe, that there would just be that thought that they consistently have on their mind, that they say, my Bible's had some dust on it, I want to shake it off.
So far, so good.
They shocked me as a group. You know, I like how they use their creativity and, told messages of God's Word.
But the outreach doesn't stop there. Concert of the Ages has a special twist. Each week, the last few songs feature members from local church choirs.
They fit in perfectly, seamlessly, and they do nothing but add to the sound and add to the presentation. That makes it feel like a family.
All part of the mission to spread the Bible to the community and the world by whatever means or art form necessary. Amber Strong, CBN News, Washington.
It is time for your Monday motivation as we begin another week. I hope you'll take the time to be encouraged by this thought. Stop looking in the mirror. What you see doesn't always reflect what God sees. It's better that you check the scripture and get comfortable with what He says about who you are. With that word, remember to make this a marvelous Monday and be sure to join us again right here, because Emmanuel lives. You've got victory every single time. That is going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. Remember, you can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about always at cbnnews.com. And we love to hear what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can do that by emailing newswatch@cbn.com. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Goodbye and God bless.